that flag. Oh, wow. Success! The American people are saved. Hey, signers. Ever wondered how the national anthem looks in American Sign Language? Well, in our upcoming video, we're diving into not just one, but 3 awesome signers. They've all got their own unique take on it, and trust me, it's fascinating. We'll show you how each brings the Star-Spangled Banner to life in their own way. It's time to celebrate America with American Sign Language. Oh, and we're also joined by students from Live with Meredith. Live with Meredith is a part of our accelerated program. You can check it out at learnhowtosign.com. Let's learn how to sign the national anthem. Hello. Are you guys proud? The Christmas tree is gone. So now it's all nice and clean right behind me, less Christmassy and ready for the new year. Okay, you guys, so I am so excited to get to compare these 3 different interpretations or performances from 3 different deaf performers of the national anthem. Now, what I want us to look at the comparison between these 3 is the difference of their style. Each person has their own style of signing, all right? Now, there are going to be several differences within their performance, but they're also going to all be meaning the same thing. And we've kind of talked about that before, is how ASL has this poetic license to, express things in a different way, but can all have the same meaning at its core. And then I want us to kind of take notice of how they are performing this song as well. A couple of them are for larger audiences, so you are going to see how their performance is going to be big, versus another performance is just for a video. And so you're going to see the change in style of how they're performing that as well. Each of these performances, I'm gonna be taking 3 different lines and comparing them to the 3 different performances. And this first performer that we're going to be watching is WAWA, all right? And he is a deaf performer, amazing at what he does. And he is going to be performing the national anthem from the Super Bowl, all right? Then we have another deaf performer as well that is doing this through Purple Communications, all right? And she is a deaf person who is signing this national anthem on the Purple Communications YouTube channel. And then we have Troy Kotzer and his performance from the Super Bowl of 2023. And just between you and me, he's my favorite performer of the national anthem, like ever. And you will see why. All right, so let's look now at this first performance of the first line from WAWA. Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Now, do we see that stance that he has right there? I mean, he is already ready to go. Feet planted, arms out, because who is he performing to? He is performing to an entire stadium and the entirety of the United States of America at this time, right? So he wants it to be big. And what is he doing at the very beginning? He is, hey, tap, 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 tap. Do you see this, right? You can't, can you, right? He's like, can you see this? And then his eyes are looking out. Hey, you, can you see this? And then what is he showing? He's showing that sunrise, right? And then, wow, he is adding his own flair, his own interpretation, all right? Now let's watch it back again. Okay, right here. Tap, tap. Hey, can you, and then eyes up here looking. Can you see? Happen? The sunrise bright. He is grabbing your attention. Now we are going to look at this next performer of this exact same line. So here we go. All right, so it's getting an attention in a different way, right? She is getting the attention of going, hey, you all, but not in a, hey, you all. This is a more formal way. And then it's see, look up, right? We're seeing something, and then she does the sunrise a little differently. You saw WAWA, he did it like this. She did it with an F hand. And she didn't do bright. What did she do? She did those wiggle fingers out. Yes, it's shining bright. So let's look at that. Presenting, see, looking up, that sun rising, and then the ray is shining out, okay? Her take is different. Now, in the comparison between the two, WAWA had a lot more time in his performance, didn't he? Because the singers are drawing it out. Versus this performance, it's played by, a band. So her signs are already moving faster. Now, let's look at Troy's. Oh my goodness, already catching your attention. Hey, look. His sun is different. And this shining is different. Did we notice that? Right? So what is he doing right here? It's a spyglass, right? It's like holding what they would have used to actually see something, right? And then it's, hey, getting attention, right? And then, do you see that? And then his sun is a different shape, right? His is a C, right? We've seen it like this. All the same, just a different hand shape. And then his is, right? The sun is shining into my eyes and out. Let's look at it. Right there. Oh, hey, do you see this? The sun rising and the rays shining. All three different ways of signing it and all done so beautifully, right? Now we're going to look at this next line where it says, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air. Let's look at WAWA's. Look at those rockets shooting off and going through the air and the bombs. And then what is that? What is that? He is getting those rockets shot off in the air. And then what does he do? They're coming up. He is using this like classifier of them coming into the air. And then he is showing the bombs bursting, right? And then he does, what happens after bombs go off? The dust settles, right? It's that everything in the air coming down. Okay, let's look at that. And we have the rockets shooting off into the air, right? And then in the air and the bombs bursting and swirling, calming down. As you can see, he is using side and side. It's not just one bomb, right? It's coming from both sides, right? So you can see how the collision is happening, the war that's actually happening because he's using both sides. Now let's look at the next performance. And then she has the rockets going up into the air and then the bombs bursting and the dust settling, all right? So she is signing red and then the rockets going up into the air, and then the bombs bursting, right? The bombs bursting in air, and then, but her hand shape isn't like this. She does it, both of them facing down. And then the cloudiness that's in the air, that's settling. So she's using both sides, but hers are just going up, 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 right? Does she actually have enough time to show war going back and forth during the song? No. So she did what she could for the time that she was allowed within the pacing of the song. All right, so let's look at that again. All right, do we see she did the color red, and then the rockets, and then the bombs, and then the dust settling. She had a tiny different variation, but it was enough that we could be able to see the difference between the two. Okay, now let's look at Troy's. Here we go. Oh, right there. He's showing the flame at the end of the rocket, and then them landing and explosions. And then the dust settling. All right. So do we see how he had kind of a different variation of that? The rocket, yes, he had that finger, his index finger there, and then the flame going into the air, right? And then he showed it going land, land, and then the explosions, showing them exploding, and then more explosions, and then the dust settling. All right, let's look at that. All right, right there, the rocket with that flame, and look how he paused to see it go through the air, and then the explosions, and then the dust settling. Look at that non-manual. That was like so incredibly important, right? The fierceness. And then one thing that I forgot to show you guys is how that rocket went through the air, and then what did he do? He took pause in that moment, did nothing with his hands, just to show, just incredible. I mean, you can visualize it. Okay, now this last line, or the land of the free and the home of the brave. Chills, guys, chills. This is gonna be so great. Here we go, WAWA. Oh, the land, both sides, saved. Look at how long he's taking on this and how strong his signs are. This part, look at this intensity. Anybody getting chills already? It is incredible. And then at the end, like, get it. So when we're looking at this, he has so much in there. He is doing land, because he has so much time in this. So he can use two hands to show the land and bring it out using that entire space. Then saved, right? We're the land that's saved, that's free, yes? Then he does like the outline of the flag and then, yes, and pledges to it. And then what does he do? All right, he references to the military that is behind him. And what he does right here, the people that are standing here, right? They have protected us. They are brave. All right, let's look at that again. Land, land, saved. Look how long he draws that out. And then here, pledge, protected these men and women behind me. Brave. Oh, what is so incredible is even with the vocals of it, he's like, right? He is pulling it out. Now, let's look at the next interpretation of this. Land, you all saved. Home, you all brave. Okay, so in this interpretation, she is taking it and she's doing land instead of doing, two hands, time's sake. And then that honorary, you all saved, free. Home, you all brave, right? And that's like the typical kind of way that we see it, because most everybody who's signing this is not performing it at a Super Bowl a Super Bowl show, not a halftime show, but a Super Bowl introduction, to this massive event. All right, let's look at that again. So we have the land, you all are saved, free, home, you all brave. Awesome. Okay, so a very clear, typical kind of ending to the song. Now, let's look at Troy's. Wow, he's feeling it. The American people, they're free because of these men and women who have served. Let's look at this, because there is so much. There very few words, right, are being said, or the land of the free and the home of the brave. But what he does, right, he has that flag right there. Pa! Finally, success. America, people, you all are saved. And then military, and what does he do? These men and women right here, okay, have gone to the front lines, right? And that they are brave. Whoo! That's some powerful stuff. Let's look at that again. That flag. Oh, wow. Success. The American people are saved. The military, these men and women, the ones on the front line, they are the brave ones. Oh, wow. Wasn't it fascinating to get to see each performer and their own different interpretation of the national anthem? Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you learned something new. Now, if you want to learn how to sign the national anthem, I've created a tutorial teaching you how. Until next time, keep learning how to sign.